Hi everyone, I'm Caroline. I've met some of you and it's good to meet other folks who I haven't met yet. I'm an artist working across and between disciplines. So here I have video and I have sculptures in the other room, and I also work with performance and text as well. I'll first share with you a broader overview of my research and approach to working. So my work is kind of about like boundaries and crossing boundaries and systems really. So I'm looking at the boundaries of social, technological, and family systems. And by treating them as systems, I think about their overlaps, the degree to which each system informs, constricts, or even overrules another system. And in doing this, I target moments where I feel like something pushed through a system that wasn't really supposed to be there. So that could be a feeling. It could be a feeling I had, a feeling someone else had. It could be an object, like an object out of place. It could be a word or a piece of text. An object, a word, a feeling that strikes me, or maybe it strikes someone else or someone I know, as something that feels very true. So I operate within an ecofeminist framework with great concern for the spiritual dimensions of the systems. I'm not very interested in the personal. Narrativization as a mode of inquiry in the United States, I think, has had quite a fracturing effect and can operate against solidarity. Yeah, I'm not so interested in personal. Personal narratives have their time and place, okay? It's not my place, personally. So I'm not interested in narrativizing my own work. I'm very interested in systemic roots and the impacts of systemic things and universality. So I can share some words about the work I have here on display. In my video here, as you can see, this is called The Great Mommy. I utilize the great mother archetype as a lens through which we can consider mommy bloggers through the eyes of AI. On balance, I really hate AI, so why would I want to do that? Because AI-generated material is becoming increasingly challenging to distinguish from real media. I would say very much even more so now than 9 months ago when I made this. And AI material tends to essentialize and reduce all identities and human experiences in a way that I find pretty terrifying. So mommy blogger videos are basically some of the earliest viral videos on the internet, following their predecessors, mommy blogs, which were like text and image based. So these are the videos, they started with text and image on things like Blogspot, I don't know, internationally, if that was so popular, big in America. So these videos, mommy blogger videos, I would say, cement the relationship between gender, performativity, self-expression, and universal experience. It's people reaching out and saying, hey, I'm struggling with this, or hey, I'm trying to sell you something, or anything in between, right? And there are so many of these videos that they basically create a good source material, I would say, for AI-generated versions of them. And so using a lot of prompts, I created a compilation of these videos, played them on an analog TV for my friends and friends of friends, and I basically wanted to blend very contemporary media with a type of anachronistic technology. So old TV like you see in galleries and stuff. I wanted to invoke and interrogate this sort of empty, cyclical, Ouroboros feeling of watching AI-generated content. I don't know about you guys, but I don't get a good feeling when I watch it, really. I get a bad feeling, I would say. And I also wanted to kind of earnestly explore the ability for these videos maybe to deliver a type of meaning. I'm saying, hey, I'm open to it, maybe it'll give me something good. You can decide for yourself what you think. I wanted to say, yeah, basically, what would real people think? Would it come across as uncanny and trite, some combination of things? You can decide, you can watch the video. All right, I'll now talk about my sculptures on display. Those are in the other room. Should we, all right? Yeah. Okay. This is not a sculpture, these are my materials. These are some experiments I've been doing just while I'm here, but these are 3 completed works which I'm showing tonight. So these are made of women's tights, epoxy resin, and surgical sutures, steel nails, and activated charcoal, which is I couldn't believe I was also using charcoal. It was very funny coincidence. So these sculptures are part of a series which I began working on 1 year ago. For me, the event that broke through a professional system, a system of care and rehabilitation, was in my day job as a social worker and psychotherapist. I was stalked by a former client and would not recommend experiencing that. The experience pushed me to investigate the relationship between so-called toxic behavior, which can be violent and include violence, and systemic environmental toxicity. So that could be in our culture, in our food, in the materials we put in and around our bodies. The physical materials for these sculptures reflect my concern for the interrelation between the systemic violence of mass producing them. So, and also the collectively constructed reality of these materials. So women's tights here, but I use tampons in my other work. They're utilities. They're not accessories, they're necessary things as part of the literal fabric of our lives. We have them close on our bodies. I'm wearing tights here. It's about as close as you could get to a person's body. They're close, they're within our bodies. In the case of tampons, they shape us. Too bad then that there's an established link between hot weather and an increase in violent behavior. Looking forward, I'm presently working on a new video about stalking from multiple points of imagined subjectivity, treating the act of stalking as the ultimate objectification, turning people into walking, talking sculptures. That's all I have. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you.